Hello! Unit 7 is inventive writing. And if you happen to have one of these portable wall calendars, charts, it is called the My Dog model. And we will go over that in a minute. That is simply just to be used as an example of a prompt writing that they could use for this kind of keyword outline. So this type of structure allows the students to write about virtually anything, including personal experiences. They're not going to be using a source text or pictures this time, but they're just going to be using information based on things that they already know. So it uses 3 topics and an introduction and a conclusion paragraph. This is essentially the same as the basic 5-paragraph essay model. It is impossible to write everything that there is to know about any topic. So remind your students that we're looking for what is the most significant, the most important, or perhaps the most interesting part of their topic. They can use a prompt, like I said, or they can use a story that is already written, like an Aesop fable. If you want to revisit Unit 3, this is a good time to do that. And the students can take an Aesop fable and expand it. They can change parts of it. They can write a sequel for it, or maybe an alternative ending. They can also take a story that is well known, like Three Little Pigs, and they can change characters, settings. They could change the basic problem. A lot of kids have used this one. They sometimes make the 3 little pigs 3 little frogs, or they make them 3 little boys or 3 little aliens. And perhaps instead of their house being blown down, it's their 3 little spaceships. There's all kinds of adjustments that they can make that helps them build on their skills and being able to use someone else's creativity, and it allows them to eventually become creative themselves. They can have a lot of fun with this, especially if they're changing a story that they know really well. In order to get the information on their keyword outline, they're going to have to come up with 3 topics. And then they're going to have to ask questions to fill in the information because, like I said, this is coming from their brain and not from a source text. So they'll ask questions like what, who, why, when, where, how, the best thing, the worst thing, any problems. Just ask the students questions to get their brains jogging. Remind them to avoid a grocery list kind of keyword outline. So we don't want, if we're talking about a dog, we don't want just long ears, short tail, long fur. Even those have some descriptive words, but we really want them to think of some good adjectives, even in their keyword outline. Help them to almost illustrate their story in words. So tell them to picture whatever the item is and make their keyword outline based on what they see if they close their eyes and picture the item. If we use the example of the My Dog model, we could talk about my dog. So it could be my dog or my pet. But so what I would do is I would come over here, and their example on the wall chart is their topics are his looks, his food, and his tricks. So I'm just going to do this basically kind of off the cuff about my own personal dog. And so if topic A was his looks, I would write things like my dog has sleek fur. It's a rusty brown color. I would write that he's muscular, that he's got a slender body. Perhaps I would write he's a tall dog, or that he has a lovable expression. I want to use words that help someone else picture my dog without actually seeing him. So then topic B would be his food. And my dog's food basically is dog food. But I could write, my dog has eats a variety of dog food from the bag. He loves creamy peanut butter. He doesn't like very many vegetables, and he often eats tissues if he can snatch them out of the car. So I would be thinking about these things, asking your students to kind of jog their memory about the topic. And so obviously I still want this as a keyword outline, so there's still 3 words, including symbols and numbers, which are free. And then topic C was his tricks. And I would write some things like he can sit, he can lay, he can heel. But I also might write that my dog is able to learn, but still is kind of stubborn, and so he does things when he wants to and doesn't at other times. I could also write in there that he's more likely to do tricks when he gets a snack. So I could write treats and maybe do a plus and snacks. Like more tricks, the more snacks he gets. So I'm going to write all those things in. My topic of the paragraph needs to be clear. When someone goes to read my paper, they should know right off the bat that my first topic is my dog's looks. So I might introduce that paragraph as my dog Tiberius is a handsome dog. And then I would describe why I think he's handsome. Topic B might be my dog loves to eat. And then I would tell about what he likes to eat and what he doesn't like to eat. And topic C might be my dog is smart enough to do any trick, but doesn't always want to. And then maybe I would talk about the things that he likes to do and when he doesn't like to do them. And so remember that the clincher should reflect the topic sentence. So if I had said that my dog loves to eat virtually anything, I might say as my clincher, even though Ty likes a lot of food, he's kind of like a kid and avoids some of the healthier things, or something like that, which wraps up my paragraph and tells that he does like different foods, but not everything. So then after the students do the keyword outline for these 3 paragraphs, they're going to come down to the conclusion, and they're going to do that first. And I know it sounds confusing, but that is what they do. And they will come down and they're going to restate the 3 topics. And they don't want these just listed as my dog's handsome, likes to eat, and does tricks. We want these in more interesting sentences. First year students can write them in 1 sentence, and they might sound like that the first year. That's okay. Third year students should be able to push themselves a little bit to write 3 separate sentences that sound similar to their introduction to their paragraph, but are maybe using some synonyms or rewording it in a different way. Then they're going to write whatever is the most important or most significant thing about their chosen topic. So I might write something about my dog is known as a Velcro dog, and that makes him lovable, and that's why we keep him, something along that line. And then your last sentence should be a final clincher, which wraps up the whole paragraph, the whole paper, and sometimes reflects the attention getter from the very first paragraph, which is what we're going to talk about now. So the introduction paragraph is actually the last thing that we suggest writing with IEW. So you would, after you had written all the rough draft for this, you would come up and you would pick an attention grabber, which there are different hooks listed online in your student resource notebook. Lots of different places that you can find hooks. You could start with a quote. You could start with a joke. You can start with a startling fact. Anything to get the reader to want to continue reading your paper. And then background information. So I might explain that my dog is a Vizsla, and that is an Hungarian hunting dog, and it's similar to a pointer. I might explain that the reason we have a dog is that when one of my children was only 3 years old, every night he would pray and thank God for the dog that we didn't have. And we felt like it was a really sweet thing that he was thanking God before he even had this dog. So I might list that kind of stuff as background information about my dog. Then I would state my 3 topics. And once again, these may sound exactly the same as their topic sentences in the beginning. Eventually, there should be some variation in the way they write these 3 topics. But though that sentence should make it clear what is coming after that, what you're going to dive into in more detail. So this, once again, is able to be used for a prompt, like what is your favorite thing about amusement parks? Or what did you do over the summer? Or what's the best thing about, or I shouldn't say what's the best thing, what are some of the best things about Abraham Lincoln? Or why was slavery wrong? There's all kinds of things that you can use, or you can take a current story and adjust it. So hopefully that helps, and thanks for watching.